It was December 28, 1987. Missy was living in a mobile home off Colgene Road in Taylor's Trailer Park, which was owned by her parents. She had recently separated from her husband and had invited a friend and the friend's boyfriend to move in with her to help with the bills. Around 11:30 p.m., Missy spoke to her mother on the phone. According to old newspaper reports about the murder, Missy told her mother she was scared, but wouldn't say why. By 4 a.m., she was found dead. She was beaten to death with a charred log taken from the fireplace, which was then left by the front door.
Lived in a mobile home park here. It's now vacant. She was murdered inside her own home and just steps away. Her 13-month-old daughter was found sleeping on a couch, surrounded by pillows.
It's been 33 years this year since she's passed away, and for people to come up to me and still tell me memories that they have of her, and I mean good, amazing, funny memories of how she lit their world on fire, it just makes me want to be that person. It makes me want to be memorable.
So good morning, everyone, and thank you all for attending today's virtual cold case spotlight. I want to thank all of our media and community members who are tuning in online with us today. My name is Chase Robinson. I'm the Executive Director of First Coast Crime Stoppers. We sincerely appreciate everyone, both here today and watching online, for taking the time and giving attention to this important case. Today we are coming together to highlight the homicide of Melissa Ellison, known to many as Missy Taylor, who was killed in 1987, and we want to honor her life and remind our community that this case has not been forgotten, that your attention and your willingness to listen helps keep the search for justice alive. And before we get into the details today, I want to take some time and introduce to you all some very special members who I have behind me. We have members of Melissa's family. We have her daughter, Casey Ellison, along with her two sisters, Sissy Bennett and Glenda Blanford. Also from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, we have cold case detective Travis Oliver Sr. And finally, but certainly not least, we have Ryan Bachman with Project Cold Case, who their efforts make this possible and make our outreach efforts to the community that much greater. We wouldn't be able to do it without them. This live stream cold case press conference is to serve as a bridge between law enforcement and the community, ensuring that the public has a direct and accessible way to help move this case forward. Our role is to stand beside the family, amplify their pain, their hope, and their plea for answers, while providing the public with a safe and anonymous way to share information. This platform exists to remind the community that this case is not just a file. It's not black and white ink on a piece of paper. It's a life that was taken and a family that has lived for years without closure and justice. The goal is to renew public attention on Missy's case, to generate new leads, and encourage anyone with information, no matter how small, to come forward safely, securely, and anonymously. It's a call to those who may have stayed silent out of fear, loyalty, or uncertainty to come forward, knowing that you can do so anonymously. Every day this case remains unsolved is another day the family lives with unanswered questions and enduring grief. This live stream is about turning renewed attention into action, transforming empathy into courage, and taking a meaningful step toward the truth, accountability, and the healing that this family so deeply deserves. By combining law enforcement insight, media outreach, and community engagement, this live stream is intended to break years of silence, advance the investigation, and help bring justice to Missy and her family. So with that, I would like to give a brief synopsis of Melissa Ellison, along with where this occurred, when it occurred, and details to bring the public back into this case. So first off, we have a beautiful image of Melissa Ellison, also known to many as Missy Taylor. She was 20 years old at the time of her death. She was a white female and was born January 4th, 1967. And as we move forward to December 28th, 1987, the time of her death, she was found beaten at her home at the Taylor Trailer Park at 3611 Colgene Road, Lot 49 specifically, in Jacksonville, Florida, 32221. Now, as we move to satellite imagery, this is to show you where about in the Jacksonville area that this incident occurred. So if we look at the metro urban area of Jacksonville on the top right of your screen, we can see we're out on the west side of Jacksonville, in between what's currently now the First Coast Expressway and also the 295 Beltway. And as we zoom in, we'll see more importantly that this is taking place or took place at the Normandy Road and Chaffee Road intersection. I will then zoom in and show you areas that were present in both 1987 and now, as well as areas that are no longer present that maybe were there in 1987. We can also see Hurlong Recreational Airport just to the east, along with Normandy Athletic Association along Normandy Boulevard to the north, and then two neighborhoods that were not present in 1987 but are now. We have Lauren Oaks neighborhood off of Normandy Boulevard and Kistler's Ridge neighborhood off of Chaffee Road. This is also an important moment to mention that any information in this case that leads to an arrest, that tipster or tipsters will be eligible for a cash reward of up to $5,000. And once again, this is an important distinction that we like to make. This information must lead to an arrest, not conviction in this case. Now we're taking you back in time to 1987, as you can see on the right side of your screen. 2026 is satellite imagery on the left side of your screen. The orange dot in the center you can see is the actual location of the homicide, and you can see the three green stars, which I will work from right to left. The first green star on the right, as you can see, back in 1987 was a large car storage lot. It was completely fenced in, whereas if you look at that same location now, it is simply an empty grass field. So we want people to realize what this area looked like both back then and now, because we're talking almost 40 years ago. If we can look at the green star in the middle of your screen, that was the Taylor Trailer Park in 1987 and now is simply an overgrown area. Both Colgene Court and the small roundabout road to the south are still present, but are virtually inaccessible due to the overgrowth of pine trees and natural vegetation. The green star on the left side of your screen you can see is now a nice shopping mall with both eating places and gas stations, whereas in 1987 it was simply just a wooded area. And finally, those two neighborhoods that I mentioned, the newer ones, Kistler's Ridge off of Normandy Boulevard and Lauren Oaks neighborhood off of Chaffee Road. So this is important to know that where you traverse now might have been someplace different in 1987. That where you frequented in 1987 could be different than what is now. So it's really to bring people into this mindset of reminiscing on where you were in 1987, reminiscing where you were in the early 2000s, because the Taylor Trailer Park did exist through the early 2000s. And finally, if we were to actually drive there today, this is what we would see. You'd see Colgene Court and overgrowth of trees. Like I mentioned, the road is still present, however virtually inaccessible. So we're trying to give you, the public, all the tools that you need to reminisce about this case, bring up old memories that you might have, and give you the confidence that you need to report this information. And with that, now that we have an understanding of what happened, where it happened, and overall case details, I would like to invite JSO Cold Case Detective Travis Oliver Sr. to the podium and give additional details about this case. Detective.
I'm Detective Oliver of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office Cold Case Unit. Some of the details on this case that is making it unique for us is that we had people present when this happened. And we have witnesses that we know have information, and that information that they're withholding from us is hindering us giving justice for the family in this case. We know that there are things now, people go through lifestyle changes, they go through changes in their life, and they're in a different position now than they were in 1987. So we will be still trying to reach out to those people and see if we could reach out to you and talk to you, and if you could come forward and give us the information we need. This case has been reviewed by several cold case detectives, including myself. I was just in conversation with the last detective last night and this morning. We are planning to meet again next week and have people that we will be trying to locate. It's just circumstances that surrounding the cases that didn't make sense back then and that doesn't make sense now on some of the information that we was given. Also, there's modern technology today that we did not have available to us in 1987. So one of the things we do now with these cases, we take this case now like it is happening in 2026 versus 1987, and we do everything we can to try to work this case as if it was happening right now with today's technology. So we are definitely asking the public to come out. This was a mother, this was a sister, this was a daughter. We all have mothers, we all have sisters. We're asking you to come out and do what you would do if this was your loved one. Please give us a call if you have any information that would be helpful to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Detective. And now, we'd like to take a moment and hear from members of Missy's family. So first, I would like to invite her sister, Glenda Blandford, up to the podium, where we will then hear from her daughter, Casey Ellison, followed by her other sister, Sisty Bennett. Glenda.
I want to first start by saying there isn't enough time to share all the beautiful memories I would like to share about Missy and the life we had with her, so I won't even try. But I will tell you, to know her was to love her. When Missy was murdered, she was 1 week away from turning 21 years old. Her funeral was on a Thursday afternoon, the New Year's Eve of 1987, and to this day, I have never seen a service like hers. The funeral home was so completely packed that I had to sit in my daddy's lap during the service. There wasn't an empty seat to be found. People were standing everywhere, along the walls, in the lobby, even standing outside, overflowing into the parking lot. There were over 400 signatures in her funeral guest book. Although everyone didn't follow to the graveside, I will never forget hearing the police escorts telling my parents that there was over 3 miles of cars in procession down the interstate, following her from the funeral home on the west side to the cemetery in Orange Park. If that doesn't speak volumes about my sister's character and who she was, nothing will. Missy had no enemies. She was the perfect daughter, the best sister, a best friend to many. She was a good mother, and she would have been a good grandma, and even a favorite aunt to so many had she been given the chance. Missy was beautiful, smart, full of life, and she loved to listen to music and dance around while she was cleaning the house. Missy's favorite artist was Prince, and her favorite songs were Purple Rain and 1999. My other sisters and I still talk about how we can see her dancing around every time we hear Prince on the radio. Missy was a very good-hearted person. She would give you the shirt off of her back and even her last dollar just to help someone. She always saw the good side in people, but she was also very naive, and she wasn't much into confrontation or fighting. So the thoughts and the images of someone coming into her home to deliberately hurt her has been unimaginable for my family. It has eaten us alive. My message today is not just for her killers, but all those involved in covering it up, all those involved in not speaking up. I want you to know your actions have caused so much pain for my family, and so much grief. I wouldn't wish this on any other family or any other person. I also want you to know that your actions caused more deaths than just Missy's alone. Missy was lucky enough to have two daddies love her throughout her whole life. And your actions caused so much pain and grief for her biological father that after 10 years of no answers and no justice for his only child, that he drank himself to death. Because of you, my grandmother also died an early death. She spent the last 26 years of her life not enjoying retirement, not really living, but instead worrying and trying to ease the pain of her grieving child, until finally it drained all the life out of her. Because of you, we watched my beautiful mother's smile diminish. We watched the light in her eyes slowly go out. Because of you, we watched my mother literally grieve herself to death. She clung to life. She clinged so tightly to every ounce of hope. But after 31 years of no answers and no justice, she had no hope left in her. My mother died at 69 years old. My mother was only 38 years old when you murdered her child. 38. That means she should have been able to do a whole lot more. You took the best years of her life, too. She spent all those years fighting, pleading for answers and grieving the loss of her child. Because of you, our children, including Casey, only knew a grieving grandmother. One who stayed in bed all day. They never got to know our mother as the absolute best, most beautiful, fun-filled, and energetic mother that she was before you killed her child. Because of you, my daddy had to come face to face with every father's worst nightmare, realizing he couldn't always protect his children. Because of you, my daddy not only endured the grief of losing a child, but he also had to figure out how to hold his family together while watching his beautiful, fun, strong-willed, independent wife fade away into this tired and feeble, grieving mother. Because of you, my parents didn't get to enjoy what should have been the best years of their lives together. Instead, my daddy had to eventually care for his frail, grieving wife 24/7 because she crawled further and further into a hole that he couldn't pull her out of. Till the day finally came, he had to lay her to rest too. Because of you, I lost my favorite sister. She was my best friend. She was the sister I shared my bedroom with my entire childhood. She was the one I shared all my secrets with, the one I could always count on. She was the sister who would have been there with me and my kids through all their milestones and all their childhood events, cheering them on. She was the one I could have called when I was sick, whether it was helping me clean the house or watch the kids. She would have been there. Because of you, my other siblings lost their favorite sister, their best friend, their confidant. Because of you, all of our children lost the opportunity of knowing what I'm sure would have been their favorite aunt. Because of you, Missy's daughter, Casey, had to grow up without her mother. And she doesn't know who or what my family was like before the trauma of losing her mother. And due to the anguish and uncertainty of an unsolved case, she was removed from what she knew as her safe space and the environment that she loved. And her future involvement with my family was limited. Because of you, Casey has no memories of her mother, no memories of her smell, no memories of her holding her, no memories of her brushing her hair, teaching her how to put on makeup, and she'll never have real visions of Missy dancing around a prince. Because she was only 13 months old when you killed her mother. Because of you, Missy didn't get to help pick out her daughter's prom dress, her wedding gown, help plan her daughter's wedding, be there for any of her breakups. Like, Missy wasn't there for any of Casey's childbirths. She wasn't there to help during those long nights with sick babies, or to give advice on raising them. All the things in life that I'm sure you have taken for granted, Missy never got to do. And those are all the moments and the things that Casey has longed for the most. Because of you, Casey has lived a life full of void, a complete emptiness inside that she hasn't been able to fill with anything else in her life. An emptiness that only someone in her shoes could possibly understand. Because of you, Casey's children never got to meet their grandmother, never got to hug her, never got to look into her eyes, never saw her infectious smile. And they will never share secrets with her, and will never have great stories to tell like others do about their grandmother. Missy never got to be called grandma or even aunt. All those special moments were taken from her because of you. On December 28th, 1987, the lives of my entire family were forever changed because of your actions and the decisions you made. While putting my sister's name in the spotlight is also meant to give us hope for answers, I can tell you that I have had hope since the day my sister was murdered. My hope is like this. I hope you know you killed a child's mother. I hope that every time you look at your child or your child's mother, you saw my sister's face. I hope that you know you killed someone's child. I hope that every time you have ever held your child, or every special moment you have ever had with your parents, you saw my sister's face. I hope that you know you killed someone's sister. And I hope that every moment you have shared, special holidays, special occasions, with a brother or sister, that you saw my sister's face. I hope you know you killed someone's grandchild. And I hope that in every moment you have ever spent with your grandparents, that you saw my sister's face. And I hope that you know you killed someone's favorite aunt. And I hope that every special moment you have ever shared with that special aunt, that you saw my sister's face. And I hope that you know you killed someone's best friend. I hope in every circle of friendships that you've ever had, you saw my sister's face. But above all of this, I hope that you know you killed a child of God. And I know, without a doubt, he saw you. And while my family may not have all the answers and know who or why, I can promise you God knows. I truly hope my sister's beautiful face has haunted you all every single day for the last 38 years. I hope and I pray that I get to stand in your presence one day when justice is served to you. But if I don't, I know in the end, God's going to serve you all a wrath of justice in my sister's name. And lastly, if you know something, say something. Because Missy's family deserves justice, and so does Missy. Please, make the call.
Hello, world. Thank you for giving my family and me your time and attention. My name is Casey Ellison. I am the daughter of Melissa Horowitz Taylor Ellison. She was known in this life as Missy Taylor. She was born and raised on the west side, Jacksonville, Florida, Duval County. She went to Ed White High School. She was murdered 3 days after Christmas in 1987. My mother was beat to death. She died slowly and painfully. She was stolen from our lives. She was stolen from my life. This case has now been open for 38 years. My mother was 20 years old when she was killed. She was unarmed. She was not engaged in criminal activity. She posed no threat to anyone. She died because someone chose to take her life and leave her there. She bled to death. This is not a tragedy. This is a murder. A homicide occurred. A person or persons are responsible, and no one has been held accountable. That means someone has lived for 38 years knowing exactly what happened, while our family has lived for 38 years without the truth. Someone knows who did this. Someone knows why it happened, and someone knows how it happened. That person may not think of themselves as a criminal anymore because they've gotten away with it for so long. They may be a neighbor, a coworker, a family member, a spouse, a parent, or even a grandparent. They may believe that this is in the past. It is not. Time does not erase responsibility. Silence does not change facts. And living a normal life does not undo taking someone else's. A murder occurred. It occurred here, it occurred in this community, and it remains unresolved. Time does not weaken truth. It only exposes it. People change jobs, people move cities, people age, people die. Facts do not. Someone knows exactly what happened that night. Someone remembers a detail that has never been spoken. Someone has lived with this knowledge for nearly 4 decades. And someone listening to this right now knows that this is about them. We are not asking for judgment. We are not asking for speculation. We are not asking for stories. We are asking for information. The smallest detail can matter. A name, a car, a place, a conversation, a rumor you may have dismissed, a memory you might have thought was irrelevant. This case does not need belief. It needs evidence. And that evidence still exists in records, in memories, in conversations that were never reported. This case is still open. The evidence still exists, and the record is incomplete. We are asking for information. We are asking for your help. Silence does not protect the truth. Silence protects harm. If you know something, say it. If you heard something, report it. If someone told you something years ago, submit it. Crime Stoppers exists for this exact reason. My mother deserves to have her life accounted for. The truth deserves to live outside of silence. There is an imbalance that needs to be set right. And the person responsible does not get to decide whether this disappears. There needs to be justice. Talk. Please help us. Please give my family peace. If you have information, now is the time. You can remain anonymous. Pick up the phone and make the call. If you're watching this and you don't have information, you can still help. Please share this. Set your privacy to public so it can reach beyond your circle. This case has had almost no visibility for 38 years. Any attention matters. We invite journalists, media, and true crime communities to review what is public and to cover my mother's case. We are not asking for speculation or entertainment. We are asking for responsible attention. Every post, every article, every conversation keeps this from disappearing. If you cannot provide information, please help others to see this. We want to take a moment to thank Crime Stoppers for inviting us here, for holding space for families like mine, and to ask for a community call to action. What you provide is not just a platform, it is safety. Your commitment to anonymity gives people a way to come forward without fear. And that protection is what allows truth to move when it has been held back for years. That matters more than words can fully express, and we are deeply grateful for the care, integrity, and responsibility that you bring to this work. We also want to offer our profound thank you to Ryan Backman and the entire team of Project Cold Case. Without them, we would not be here. We would not be this far. This is the most attention my mother's case has gotten in my lifetime. Their persistence, expertise, and advocacy are the reason families like mine are able to move forward after decades of silence. If you are looking for a meaningful and necessary way to invest in a nonprofit, please consider supporting Project Cold Case. Families like mine depend on it. Your support helps keep these cases visible, active, and moving towards a resolution. By supporting them, you are not only funding an incredible organization, you are helping restore truth, dignity, and hope to families who have waited far too long. Thank you.
I want to start with thanking Crime Stoppers, Ryan, JSO. We really appreciate what you've done for our family today. All we ask is someone come forward. I know there's someone out there, has to be someone out there that has an answer, has that piece that we're missing. Give my family the answers and Missy the justice she deserves. Glenda and Casey done a great job of explaining everything that my family's been through and continue to go through on a daily basis. If you have that information, please come forward. Give our family that piece. I know Missy would be here for me, standing in, and wouldn't give up. And if you're still out there, the person that did this to my sister, know that we won't give up. We will take every opportunity we get. I will push every opportunity that I get to keep her case active. But please, I pray that you will come forward and do the right thing. Thank you.
It was powerful. Powerful. And I implore all those watching, whether this is live, 2 weeks from now, whenever it might be, to listen to the pain in their voices, to listen to the story that they just told. This is why we're here. This is why we want justice for Missy Taylor, for Melissa Ellison. If you do have information, we implore you to report this to Crime Stoppers. You are always anonymous. We will never ask your name, contact information, or provide any form of identification. There's no tracing of your digital footprint, whether that's in the form of a phone number, an IP address, and you will not be asked to contact law enforcement unless you choose to, because all of the information that you submit to Crime Stoppers uses a cloud-based SSL software to protect all of the information. And I like to make a distinction. You are anonymous, not confidential. Your identity is not known to Crime Stoppers. It's not known to law enforcement. It's not known to anyone. If you do have information, take a moment. Call 866-845-TIPS. Or even simpler, pick up your smartphone and dial **TIPS. You can also download our mobile app, P3 Tips, in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store, or you can visit our website at fccrimestoppers.com. Whichever method you choose, we will ensure it reaches JSO detectives, and we ensure it will be investigated to the fullest ability. And as we close today, I would like to bring focus to the most important reason we are here, Melissa Ellison. Melissa was more than a case file or a headline. She was a daughter, a loved one, and someone whose life mattered deeply to the people who still grieve her every single day, to the voices that you just heard from. Someone out there knows something. It may feel small. It may be something you dismissed years ago. Maybe it's a detail you were afraid to share, or one you didn't realize mattered at the time. But in cold cases like this, one piece of information can change everything. One memory, one conversation, one moment of courage. This is why Crime Stoppers, Project Cold Case, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, and Missy's family are asking that if you know anything, to come forward today, to come forward now, to put years of repression, fear to the side, and do it anonymously through First Coast Crime Stoppers and be eligible for a cash reward of up to $5,000. You don't have to give your name. You will never be identified, and your tip will be forwarded directly to detectives as you provide it. More importantly, your information could give Melissa's family what they've waited years for, answers and accountability, and the chance to finally begin healing. Justice never expires, and silence only protects the person or persons responsible for this heinous act. Now is the time. Submit a tip today, do the right thing, help Missy, help her family, and help bring this case one step closer to justice. And as we close today, I just want to thank all of our media partners for broadcasting this out to the First Coast community, all of those watching online, to our partners at the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, Project Cold Case. The more that we amplify this case, the more that we put Missy's family on a pedestal and let their voices be heard, the greater the chance we reach the right person, that tipster who can change everything. Thank you all for attending today's virtual press conference, and hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.